All right, so we've been painting up the NFL narrative. We already know what's going on. We've seen the video, Dan Skipper. We've seen the video. We know what happened. Detroit Lions fans, we know what happened. We know what the NFL looks like. Then all of a sudden, Arian Foster comes out last year, says the NFL is scripted. He gets mocked. The NFL turns that into a commercial. They turn their own thing into a commercial to make money off of it, right? Crazy. Now, do I feel the NFL is scripted? I do not. I don't think it's. I feel like outcomes can be determined by the ref. That's all I'll say about that. But I don't think there's a script like Days of Our Lives and they're practicing and all this other stuff. It's not like the WWE like in that way, but it is it can be swayed. That's why the refs that always can sway the game. That's why these games are so close. Anyway, we've had this conversation before. I saw something on Twitter and I thought this was hilarious because I mentioned this and, this was like last week, the last time the last time the Lions and Browns were over 10 wins in the same season was 1953. What happened? The Lions and Browns met in that year's championship game. This is years before the Super Bowl. 1953 is a good 13 years before the invention of the Super Bowl. It's crazy to think that my mom was alive before the Super Bowl. Like, all I know is the NFL, the Super Bowl, the biggest event in sports every year. And my mother remembers the championship game. Like, that's crazy. But anyway, so I saw this and I thought this was absolutely golden. And I wanted to bring this in and make this into a video. Okay, so this is coming from Black Adam Schefter. I don't know where he got this from as far as this whole thing. But here is the wild card round. This is the script leaked, right? I think this is hilarious. So right now, the Seattle Seahawks are not in the playoffs. They need a lot of help in order to get into the playoffs. So you could easily put them in the Green Bay Packers right here. But right now, this is how it stands. This is the exact lineup right now heading into week 18. You see the 7 versus 2, 6 versus 3, 5 versus 4. And then over here you have the Bills, which I think the Bills are going to get the 2nd seed, which is going to knock the Dolphins down to the 6th seed. Kansas City is already locked in the 3rd seed. And the highlighted in green are the winners of the wild card round. Now we're going to go down to the divisional playoff round. So look at this. Look at this. The Browns beat the Jaguars. I actually agree with all of this except 2 things. I think the Seattle Seahawks could beat the Dallas Cowboys, and I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can beat the Eagles at home. The Eagles are falling apart. So we'll just play this game for right now. So the divisional round of the playoffs, here it is. I think the Browns could upset. I think the Ravens are going to get upset in the playoffs before they make the Super Bowl. That's what I think is going to happen. This is going to be a good game. Does Buffalo finally get their revenge on Kansas City? And then this right here is fantastic. This right here is fantastic. Are us getting our revenge on the road in Jerry World. So again, the green means that you win. Now here's where it gets real good. In the conference championship round, the Cleveland Browns upset the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions upset the San Francisco 49ers for the Super Bowl, Browns Lions. And at that point, you can make your own decision from that point. So that would be Super Bowl. Actually, it says 57, but we're on 58. So whatever Photoshop job that this was is wrong because 57 was last year. We're on 50 bowl, Super Bowl 58. Good Lord. But anyway, whatever this is, I like it. I agree with it for the most part. This is what I've said a long time ago. I said it about a week ago that the Lions and Browns, the last time they were both over 10 wins, they met in the championship game, which was 1953, exactly 70 years from last year. So, yeah, it's very, very, it's shaping up to be quite the narrative thing. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. They almost had me, but then they got the Photoshop, the miserable Photoshop there. We are in Super Bowl 58. 57 was last year. But either way, I agree with the most of that, man. Let me know your thoughts. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.